We are Enactus Imperial College London.
We are Chris,
Brandon,
Mary,
Anamalai,
Irshad, Khan, and Huijing on technology.
But we are not just these 7 people. We are a team representing a society of 79 members who create projects and transform the lives of individuals in our local and international communities.
we have a support network consisting of 8 business advisors, 2 university advisors, and an alumni who provided us the guidance and support throughout the year.
We are sustainable. To ensure our future, we launched an Asian food stall with our college catering department to cater to the large Asian population in our university. 10 pence will be contributed to our projects for every steam bun or bubble tea sold, and this year we raised over £2,700.
using this business model, we have established an ongoing revenue stream with minimal effort from the team. This has inspired other Enactus teams to follow.
today we will present to you 3 of our projects. And first, we would like to introduce to you to technopreneurship.
Did you know that in 60% of industry sectors, science theory is crucial in making business decisions? Our project, Technopreneurship, targets Year 9 students and aims to bring this vital link between science and business to light so that students are able to make more informed academic choices.
In the 2011 report, The Plan for Growth, the UK government pronounced science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, as key drivers for economic recovery. However, there is currently a lack of STEM skills in the workforce. This can be linked to a low level of interest in science. Research has found that many 40 to 90-year-old students and even parents to believe science will be tough and unpractical.
To nip this growing problem in the bud, we utilize the resources of our university, Imperial College London, and our passion for science and business to engineer a breakthrough project, Technopreneurship.
Technopreneurship is an enlightening program designed to engage Year 9 students in the marvel of science experimentation, uniquely fusing these theories with business concepts. It has been running annually since 2012 at Gummy House Common School, where in 2012, only 3% of students chose to pursue physics in their GCSEs.
This year, the program was conducted over 4 weeks and had 3 main components. First off, science experimentation, which gave the students who tend to have very little prior experience a valuable hands-on field for science. Topics included color-changing liquids, electromagnetism, and bath bomb creation. We also ensured that technopreneurship had no negative environmental impacts by utilizing non-toxic materials in our experiments.
Secondly, the business curriculum. We taught marketing, SWOT analysis, and how to write a business plan. We taught these in ways the students could easily relate to, so they could easily understand and apply these new business concepts. For example, while teaching SWOT analysis, we used everyday products so that the students could easily understand this new business concept. With a 5-to-1 student-to-helper ratio, we ensure that our content is thoroughly conveyed and the students' questions properly addressed.
In the final component of our program, we held a competition where the students had to create their own bath bombs. This challenges them to apply all the concepts they had learned throughout the course. They also applied the marketing skills they had gained to pitch these bath bombs to a panel of experienced judges, including a manager from Lush, a large cosmetics company known for their bath bombs.
Finally, they presented a business plan, which included their vision, strategy, and financial planning. This enabled the pupils to put into practice new skills they had gained, as well as public speaking.
The winners earned themselves a day's workshop at Lush, where they learned about the business ethics associated with producing cosmetics, such as animal testing and proper waste management. This also gave the students invaluable experience in an industry which combines both science and business in their work.
We conducted a survey among the participants and found that the number of students who were interested in science doubled and the number interested in business tripled.
Here are some of the responses of the students after the course. Katie is willing to start her own business. All the students also gained valuable soft skills, such as teamwork and presentation skills. The students also gained a new outlook in their academics and future. This is attested by Gumney House Convent School's Head of Curriculum, Ms. Roberts.
See a marked difference in their confidence skills, but also their thinking and planning skills as well, and their overall competencies in terms of their behaviours. How do they behave? How do they look at problem solving? How do they stay calm? How do they confront a situation where they have to answer questions they've never come across before?
We are proud to say that Katie and her friends can now make informed academic choices and have gained fundamental soft skills outside the state curriculum.
And Governor House Convent School is only where it all starts. We deem technopreneurship a success and plan to reach out to 5 other schools. Imagine opening the door of opportunity for 100 more students. Imagine a new generation prepared to tackle the problems of tomorrow.
We are now proud to present to you our international project in Kenya, Project Brook Safi, which revolutionized an innovative recycling business to transform the lives of disabled children.
Life is difficult enough for the disabled, but for children in Nairobi, Kenya, their problems are amplified through poverty and poor living conditions. They lack the means to be accepted socially, and they lack the future they deserve.
But one school, Brook School for the Deaf and Autistic Children, took the initiative to help 28 less able children suffering from deafness, autism, and cerebral palsy. The school gave them a home, an education, and most importantly, hope. All of which cost the children absolutely nothing.
However, the school could not afford all the basic meals and education for the children, as they were only able to spend £5 per child per month. The school needed a much larger source of income. However, this was just not sustainable.
Previously, the school was earning a small amount of money by collecting and recycling trash from the nearby community by using plastic bags. These are later sold to a recycling company for profit. After meeting Mr. Timothy, the headmaster of Brook School, we carried out a needs assessment and found out that this method was inefficient, as 8 collectors had to go knock on door to door for 1,000 households weekly.
Additionally, the cost of these 4,000 plastic bags was expensive at £110 and also represented a negative environmental impact. In fact, more than half of the school's revenue was
by school staff weekly.
As the school could not afford the initial investment, we microfinanced these 20 bins at £10 each, totaling up to £200. They will begin repayments after 6 months, and the repayment period will take just 4 months.
To ensure good management of finances, we have imparted bookkeeping knowledge to Mr. Timothy. He is now more aware of the importance of taking notes and receipts of his debit, credit, and balance. In addition, we advise Mr. Timothy that the space on each bin can be rented out to companies as advertising space in order to generate further income. Aware that Mr. Timothy is a key person in this business, we ensure that we have empowered him with the skills and knowledge to manage his growing business and to handle potential problems in the future.
Our pilot project of 20 bins has eradicated the need for plastic bags in 160 households, eliminating the running cost of collecting these recyclable materials. However, considering the social factors, the amount of trash to be collected is dependent on the community going out to the nearest trash bin. Because of this, Mr. Timothy was worried that the community may opt not to recycle.
Our solution was to teach Timothy to encourage the community to empower the community, to encourage them to recycle more by raising awareness of its value and also marketing the fact that all the proceeds from this project will go on to help finance the school. Together with the education of the community, the bins encourage greater recycling, which has led to a growth in the amount of recycled materials collected by the project.
Our pilot project has increased the profits of Brook School by 16%. This means they can now feed 8 more children, buy 9 more textbooks, and still have £25 available to spend on healthcare and school expansion. The children can now also be fed with better meals, hence improving their nutrition, leading to healthier lives. With this, we've improved the quality of life of 28 disabled children. This is what Mr. Timothy has to say.
We improve our output, we improve income, we improve our strategy and working span, expand our business in terms of what we do, and also see how we can help more children.
With the great success of our pilot project, we are now working with Mr. Timothy to roll out the scheme across all 1,000 households in the community by financing 120 bins. This will effectively eradicate the environmentally damaging plastic bags and make the recycling of materials in the community easier.
We look forward to the further drastic changes our project will bring to Brook School. With their newfound resources and skills, the children of Brook School and the surrounding community can now stand for the brighter, more prosperous future they deserve.
We are now proud to present to you our third project, Soapworks, which has empowered women in Kenya to create their own soap-making business.
Imagine yourself in Mrs. Irene's shoes. She's a grandmother living with 3 grandchildren, making just enough to survive each day in Kenya. Before this, she was working as a janitor to provide for her family. But as she grew older, her joints started to ache, which forced her to quit her job.
Inspired by her friend in the neighborhood, Mrs. Irene started her very own soap-making business. Despite all her efforts, she was making her loss as her business model was failing. Hence, she approached our project partner, Mesh Foundation, for help.
Our self-funded team, which went to Kenya last summer, met with Mrs. Irene and conducted our own needs assessment into Mrs. Irene's business on their finances and operations. We realized that she was making less than £6 a month, well below the international poverty line of £22.50.
Her business model was failing because firstly, she had poor financial planning, and secondly, she had a small customer base and she only marketed her soap to the church members. Due to her poor business knowledge, she only bought the ingredients in small quantities, resulting in a high unit cost.
Furthermore, her restrictions to make soap in batches of 5 liters significantly limited the capacity of her business. Alongside this, the soap she was making was of low quality. It is dry on skin and not suitable for body wash. This limited her demand and hence limited her income.
Look at this picture and try to identify the dangers that Miss Irene and her family face. Firstly, they are not wearing any face mask. They are constantly exposed to a large amount of sodium hydroxide fumes, which is very harmful to the body. Secondly, Mrs. Irene is not wearing any glove. The sodium hydroxide solution used is very concentrated and corrosive and can easily burn Mrs. Irene's hands. Clearly, Mrs. Irene is working in an unsafe environment. Here is a summary of all the problems that Mrs. Irene has faced.
Realizing the need for a change, we tailored individual solutions to overcome each of these problems. Last summer, we visited Kenya to teach Mrs. Irene financial planning and bookkeeping skills. She now has better knowledge to handle her finances and her business.
To improve the health and safety issues, we collaborated with our own universities to obtain face masks and gloves for Mrs. Irene. Using our expertise in chemistry, we researched new possible recipes and found out that making bar soap would be more beneficial for Mrs. Irene.
After comparing the raw materials already available in Kenya and carrying out several experiments, we finalized the ingredients. We realized that by making bar soap, Mrs. Irene is able to produce soap in bulk and conveniently store them.
As a result, she is now able to achieve economies of scale and is better equipped to support the sudden spikes in demand from her customer. This expanded her business capacity. Not only is this new soap hard but easier to make, it is of higher quality and more moisturizing to the skin. This increases the product demand.
To ensure the sustainability of our project, we have designed a soap manual, which consists of 3 different recipes, ranging from beginner level, which only consists of 3 ingredients, to advanced level, where proper fragrances and colorings are added.
Seeing the geographic proximity between the earlier project, Brook Safi and Soapworks, we have collaborated and reached to a mutual beneficiary. The volunteers from Brook School have both agreed to distribute and market Mrs. Irene's soap into the main life.
Using the train-the-trainer model, we have helped Mrs. Irene organize workshops to transfer the skills and knowledge required to 25 women to start their very own soap-making businesses. To minimize competition among these women entrepreneurs, we have ensured that they are from different communities. We look forward to working together with them in the next phase of our project, ensuring that their business is just as successful as Mrs. Irene's.
Now Mrs. Irene is making a profit and her business is capable of expanding to different markets. Once her soap-making skills have been fully developed and established, she will soon approach the mini markets in her area to market her own soap.
This year, through Soapworks, Mrs. Irene has increased her customer base from 7 to 30, increasing her profits from £6 to £23. She is now no longer below the international poverty line. The additional funds is used to pay her school fees for grandchildren and the monthly rent. This has significantly improved her standard of living.
This year, we have given Mrs. Irene a safer working environment and a newfound confidence to expand her business. The 28 children of Brook School also has better access to hygiene and sanitation. All this improving their quality of life. This is what Mrs. Irene has to say.
School fees? Paying rent? Okay, food then?
We are proud to say that we have transformed Mrs. Irene's life over the last year from an individual into a businesswoman, from a life below the poverty line
to a healthy, sustainable income,
from a past of struggle
to a future of hope.
We are Enactus Imperial College London.
We are inspired to transform opportunities into actions, problems into solutions, and individuals into entrepreneurs.
We are proud to say that this year, Technopreneurship has helped 20 Year 9 students build their confidence and business skills to embark into a future in science.
We are proud to say this year, Project Brook Safi has helped the Brook School improve their recycling business, boosting their income by 16% and improving the quality of life and standard of living of 28 disabled children.
We are proud to say this year, Soulworks has transformed Mrs. Irene's life, empowering her to escape poverty by running a successful soul-making business to give her and her family a more secure and brighter future.
This year, through our innovative business solution, we have directly impacted 44 individuals and improved the life of 766 people. These are the markings of a successful year for us as
Enactus Imperial College London.
Questions from our judges, please.
Hello, Lisa Cameron, EY. I was interested that you chose those different projects to show us about. How did you decide those opportunities as the things that you were going to focus on?
This year we have on total 6 projects. Next year we believe that the project is the biggest. This year we have 6 projects. Next year we will focus on the big project that we believe has the biggest potential. We believe that project Soapworks is the biggest potential. It's because it has the clearest direction on where to expand in the future. Firstly, we already know that we work together with 25 other women. So that means there are 25 other women that will actively try to empower. So we have a target. Secondly, we also continue working with Mrs. Irene to expand our business so that she can approach into the mini markets. Thirdly, with the growing soap-making business in the village, there will be more people with access to cheap soap. This gives them a healthier future and a cleaner environment.
Helena Herring, Rolls-Royce. I have a question to the same project, Soapworks. You mentioned a transfer of skills via train the trainer and transferring from Mrs. Irene to 25 more women. How is Mrs. Irene going to achieve that? And how is your team supporting it with everything else she has on her plate?
Firstly, we have a midman in Kenya, whose name is Charles Michelle, and is in the Mount Mesh Foundation. He transfers his marketing skills to Mrs. Irene, and once Mrs. Irene knows all these marketing skills, and together with him as a supervisor, they both conduct this entire workshop of these 25 women. So during this workshop, they were given the soap manual as well, which actually included a small section of marketing skills. So all this has been passed down verbally and theoretically on the book. So this is how we're trying to ensure it.
Andrew Bacon, Centrica. Regarding your first project, Technopreneurship, could you give us a little bit more information on how you measured the outcome in terms of raising confidence, self-esteem, and preference towards world of work in terms of science and engineering?
Well, we conducted a survey before and after the program, and we asked the students whether they were interested in science, and there was quite a low number before the program, and after that it increased. But that was just a quantitative measure. There are qualitative measures that show increased interest that back up those figures. For example, the students' parents and the teachers gave us feedback. During the competition period, the students were working at home passionately on the project, and the parents have never seen their students work so hard, their children work so hard before. And the teacher saw that after the program, the students actually had a very, very different perspective to academics. And all that indicated increased interest and motivation.
Question over here.
Hi, Catherine Marshall from Hobbycraft. I'd also like to ask you about the Technopreneurship project and how you plan to take that forward. Has it been adopted by the school, and how are you going to scale that project?
In terms of the future of Technopreneurship, at Gami House Common School, we are planning to continue the project, continue Technopreneurship at Gami House Common School. In terms of expanding the project, we are going to use the outreach office at Imperial College London to find other schools. And besides that, we are planning to introduce a new program called SEED, Student Empowerment and Entrepreneurial Development. where we teach Year 10 students who are in technical leadership about technical leadership, how to teach Year 9 students, the new batch of Year 9 students in technical leadership. This program is about 3 years, and after 3 years, we will step out of the program, so it becomes self-sustainable.
More questions?
Richard Bartlett from RBS. I see the MASH Foundation were involved in your projects in Africa. Could you say a little bit about your relationship with them and how you've worked with them?
In the Soapworks project, they introduced us to Mrs. Irene, and also, secondly, they also help translate, they break down the communication barrier between us and Mrs. Irene. This is because she doesn't understand English, we need them to help us translate. They also help us transfer the skill because they have knowledge of how things work in Kenya. So we tell them how we want things to work and they help us transfer it to Mrs. Irene. Lastly, they also collect financial data.
Presentation time has expired, apologies. Thanks.